right, what's happening, guys? Thank you all for being here. Again, this is a press conference, not for the action we're looking forward to tomorrow, but in the future. I'm talking about March 11th. Live and free, guys. All you got to do, and please tell a friend, help out a little bit. Go to eaglefc.com and get signed up. We're going to be taking some questions. I'd actually like to get things started reconnecting with the original Ultimate Fighter, Diego Sanchez, down here. And Diego, what's it like, man? Last rumor I heard on you, you might be headed over to Bare Knuckle, but now I see you're getting ready to headline Eagle FC.
Yeah, I wanted to end my legacy of mixed martial arts the right way. I really have looked up to Khabib for his entire career because he did it about the legacy. You know, he was about his father and his family. Family and family values in the core. And I felt like the organization I was fighting for before didn't really value family. And, I wanted to take the gloves off and do BKFC, but I had some work that I have to come do in mixed martial arts still. And with Kevin Lee, he's an amazing, great fighter, and the challenge is huge. So being the underdog, being the 40-year-old, fighting the 29-year-old, I like challenges, so here I am.
Excellent. And Kevin, for you, look, you've been lobbying for a 165-pound weight class for a period of time now. I mean, I remember this dates back even to Ben Askren and you on stage yelling at one another. Yeah. Khabib has finally found a way. You've got it worked out. What do you think? March 11th, you in the nightmare.
We're bringing home a new division, and I feel like we're really bringing in the future of the sport. 165 has been a long time coming. So for me to finally compete in this super lightweight division, I'm ready to make it home. And who better to bring it but Diego Sanchez? This fight is either going to be, I'm going to beat the hell out of Diego, or we're going to have a really drag him down, knock him out, Forrest Griffin versus Stephan Bonner type of fight. And it just seems fitting that this is the right one for the debut of this division.
And Khabib, I mean, what's it like for you up here, the founder? Now you're working on the other side of the desk. What's it like to be putting on such great matches as opposed to preparing for a match from your days as a competitor?
It's very interesting fight for me because of a very big reason. They both fight for UFC lightweight title. They both fight. Of course, it was like different prime. Like Kevin Lee was fighting when it was my prime, Like Diego Sanchez was fighting when I was kid, just when I grew up, I was watching his fight, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. They're gonna fight here in main event, and they're gonna fight in super lightweight in 165, and I'm very excited about this fight. We'll see what's gonna happen, But for sure, it's gonna be fight of the night, I think, because like always, Kevin Lee fights. It was very interesting when he fight. How many fight of the night Diego Sanchez have? How many fight of the year he have? It's like I'm very excited about this fight.
Guys, we've been asked a number of questions of these contestants and of Khabib. They've submitted those from some of the top MMA writers and pundits around the world. They submitted those in writing for Ray, and Ray is going to read us those questions now.
Thank you very much, Chael. Yes, this comes from Brent Okamoto from ESPN. Diego, he wants to know, what you think a win over a guy like Kevin Lee would prove about you at this stage of your career? You have a lot of accomplishments. What would this one tell us?
I think that a win over Kevin Lee would tell you and the fans and everybody skill set, that Diego Sanchez legacy is a skill set. I have skills, and I've worked very hard in 20 years in this sport, and I want to show my skills. It's not about a team or a trainer. It's about Diego Sanchez going in there and doing it for myself.
Kevin, for you, what would a win over Diego Sanchez do for you and your career?
This fight for me is going to answer a lot of questions that people have about me, and honestly that I got about myself. He's going to test my cardio. He's going to test my heart. He's going to keep pushing. No matter how much I hit him, Diego's going to keep pushing forward. So it's going to be a really bloody, kind of drag him out type of fight. And it's what I've been looking for a long time in my career, and it's going to show what I got in store.
This comes from George Garcia of MMA Junkie Radio. For Diego, fighters evolve their training methods all the time, but over the past 20 years, is there something in your training that has stayed consistent with you?
Oh, man, conditioning. That's the core. If you don't got a gas tank you know, you're gonna eventually get desperate. You're gonna have to be forcing stuff. So yeah, no, it's putting the hard work in the conditioning and being in the best shape of your life for the fight.
Kevin, for you, from George Garcia of MMA Junkie Radio, other than getting your hand raised in victory, what other personal goals would you like to accomplish during this camp and the fight itself?
My focus and staying locked into the fight. No matter how much I beat him, still staying locked in and staying locked in throughout the entire training camp. This is going to be a new one for me, just moving down here to Miami and getting started with Sanford MMA and Henry Hoof and those guys. So it's going to be showing how much I can adapt and how well focused I can be throughout it.
Khabib, this comes from George Garcia. You recently visited Old Trafford, home of the greatest soccer team in the world, Manchester United Red Devils. Well, that's up for debate. Is there anything about that environment that you would like to be present at your Eagle FC events?
Good question. I didn't understand what you're talking about.
You said that you visited Old Trafford, the home of Manchester United. Is there something from that environment that you would like to be present here at the Flexcast Arena when Eagle FC is doing their events?
Yeah, you know, it's like David Beckham living here in Miami. I think he have a soccer team here. I sent a message like a month ago. I remember, like, thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna send him tonight message. Maybe he gonna come to the show tomorrow night.
I like that. Now, this comes from Kevin Aioli for Diego. Can you tell us, why do you think you weren't able to fulfill your potential while you were in the UFC, and getting that chance to start over with a clean state mentally, do you think that'll make you a better fighter?
Repeat that again. There was like two questions.
Yeah,
right?
so this is what, and I'm literally reading off of what they asked. Why do you think you weren't able to fulfill your potential while you were in the UFC?
Right, well, let's just start with that one.
Okay.
All right. I think that I did fulfill my potential. You know, I fought for 17 years in the hardest top organization in the world. You know, I showed longevity, I showed heart, I showed evolution, and now it's showing the completion. This is the end of this is really the end of the legacy. This is the end of the chapter. That's what I'm fighting for right now. And the other question was?
Yeah, the other question is, do you think that getting a chance to start over with a clean slate mentally will make you a better fighter?
Absolutely. And we were just in the back doing an interview. And you have to think about it. 17 years in that UFC octagon, 17 years in Sin City, Las Vegas. I mean, it was just so much. All of the hard losses and the traumas that I took, the hard hits, the hard blows, it was all in a different space. So I'm excited to get into this new space, this new place, and I feel good. This room has a great vibe, and Eagle FC has a great vibe, and I'm extremely excited about it. And yes, I feel like I'm going into this fight with a much clearer head.
Kevin, you want to go ahead and elaborate on that as well from Kevin Aioli? I'm sure that he asked both of you guys the same question, but why do you think you were unable to fulfill your potential while you were in the UFC? And also talk about being here with Eagle FC, brand new division, 165, never been seen before in the world of MMA.
Yeah, I mean, I did 7 years myself. Diego 17. I had 7 years, 18 fights in the UFC. But I really fought the who's who and made a lot of big names. You know, when you think about Tony Ferguson, when you think about Charles Oliveira, when you think about Michael Chiesa, all these guys are on my resume. So I kind of am going to piggyback off Diego with that. I feel like I did complete a little bit of my potential in that phase of my career. This is a new phase. This is the new chapter. That was the old me, and now we're going into a new division where I'm actually going to be a champion. There, I was a contender. Here, I'll be a champion, and I feel like that's what it is, my legacy to fulfill.
And this one coming from Khabib, or from Damon Martin for Khabib. You've already signed a lot of big names to the Eagle FC roster. So how active will you be in pursuing free agents that are going to finish out their contracts with the UFC, Bellator, and other mixed martial arts promotions around the world?
Yeah, I think like for big organizations like UFC, Bellator, they have to be careful with their fighters, you know, because Eagle FC is here, you know, and of course we trying to sign good athletes, great athletes with good names, you know, and like same time we working with young generation too, you know. We have two goals, and I just want to say be careful, you know. if they don't trade good fighters, Eagle FC is here, you know.
And also, this is from me, in terms of the fact that welterweight is 175, you have 165, so only a 10-pound difference. What made you come to that realization to make the welterweight division at 175? And there's been such a demand for 165. Now you have 65, and now welterweight is 175, which I know a lot of the fighters competing tomorrow night really enjoy, and they think that it's such a benefit.
Because like I understand this game inside, you know, because I was professional fighter last 12 years, and you know, and I hear like from a lot of fighters, they really want like weight classes 155, 65, 75, and 85, you know. And you know, it's like when I open this Eagle FC, and I'm like, why I cannot do this? You know, let's do some new history. You know, let's build some new history, and that's why.
Now, if we have questions from the media that are in attendance here at the FlexCast Arena, raise your hand. Let us know your media distinction and ask your question. Thank you.
Хабиб, здравствуйте. Вопрос вам. У кого первого возникла идея пригласить чела на комментировать? Он самый такой трэш-токер известный в ММА, и, может быть, какая-то есть шутка или его высказывание, которое вам больше всего запомнилось? Спасибо.
In Russia, like answer, okay. Ну, насчет Челсонена первая идея возникла у Али Абдулязиза и Ризвана. Они мне сказали, что можно привлечь Чела, но, конечно, я был чуть удивлен. Почему? Потому что я не думал, что можно так легко договориться с Челом. На самом деле это было очень легко. Договорились, вы как видите, мы уже сделали один подкаст, уже сейчас на втором. За сегодняшний день сидим на пресс-конференции. И я думаю, что это в медийном плане это очень хороший и правильный шаг для нашей лиги. Ну, что запомнилось, когда я только начинал, он был суперзвездой в UFC, это 12-й год, вы сами помните его противостояние с Сильвой. У меня, я помню, даже мы бились на одном турнире, когда он дрался с Сильвой, я дрался, у меня был второй бой в UFC. И сейчас это, конечно, так интересно здесь сидеть среди этих ребят. И Диего Санчес, и Кемвелли, и Челсонен, это бойцы, которые были на пике в разные времена. И за кем-то я наблюдал как до UFC, за кем-то во время UFC. Кто-то был потенциально моим соперником. И сидеть здесь и проводить вот так пресс-конференцию, очень, знаете, как чувства такие двоякие. Ну, насчет Чела, я думаю, что мы сделали очень правильный шаг.
All right, our final question will come from the gentleman in the back.
This question is for Kevin. Brennan Tobin, 7-9 at the ticket. You mentioned at your last press conference you were going to make the full commitment to moving down here in South Florida, and there's so many good gyms. How did you land on Sanford? What made that home for you?
The first day that I stepped into the gym, I kind of knew that was going to be the new home. You could just feel like a vibe, and you could feel like a certain energy about a place when you step into it. Just the same as when I step into this room, I feel like there's a different air in here. So as soon as I stepped into Sanford, I'm like, okay, this is new home. It's time to start working with these people and and make my name known and make my face recognizable. And that starts now, and then on March 11th, that's going to start over there in that cage. And after that, I'm going to have my name on the side of this poster in 1 while.
All right, guys. Diego Sanchez is going to be taking on Kevin Lee. That, of course, is coming to us on March 11th. Tomorrow night, we've got Tyrone Spong. We got the return of the Hall of Famer Rashad Evans. All of that is going down. Let me ask you a question. If I had a way for you guys to watch this for free, like say I had a promo code and I was going to give you all the promo code, how happy would you all be with me? Yes? Well, I happen to have that, guys. I happen to have it. Go to eaglefc.com. That is it. There is no tricks. There is no catch. The action is going down live and free tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern. And, of course, the Nightmare and the Motown Phenom, going to have to wait for March 11th for that. Stick around to Eagle FC for all the updates. And I would like to invite all of you, if you'd like to stick around and join us, we're going to do a ceremonial weigh-in. We're going to face off tomorrow night's card. Thanks for coming, everybody.